Hello children, let me welcome you to the virtual class of the Brihan Mumbai Mahanagar Palika. My name is Shraddha teacher. Children, we are in the middle of this COVID-19 pandemic and because of that we are not able to go to school, but that doesn't mean we are going to stop learning. So we are going to do many lessons which are very interesting from your textbook through the virtual class here. So let us do a lesson in English today. So children, the lesson that we will be doing in standard 5th is a lesson in English, and that is a scholarship lesson. So the lesson that we have taken up for today is lesson number 3 from your vocabulary part or unit. So we will call it 1.3 and the name of the lesson is suffixes. So now children, this is also a very important you can say vocabulary point when you're learning English, because suffixes go on in order to make new words, in order to give new meanings to words, in order to make sometimes antonyms, that is opposite words, etc. So suffixes have a very important place in English grammar. Now when we talk about suffixes, children, let us understand that it is part of a broader idea. Now what is this broader idea? It is affixes. So suffixes are part of affixes. Now what are affixes? Let us see. So affixes are word parts that change the meaning of a root or a base word. Okay, so what is an affix? An affix is a few letters that are added to a base word or a root word. That goes on, these few letters that you add to the main word, that goes on to change the meaning of this particular word in total. So these are affixes. Now when we talk about affixes, affixes are of two types: prefixes and suffixes. Sometimes you say suffix, sometimes you say suffix. So prefixes and suffixes are the affixes. So whenever you say affix, it could be either a prefix or it could be a suffix. Now in today's part of the lesson, we are going to concentrate on suffix. Okay, so let us see a small example here. So see, we have the word cook, C-O-O-K, cook. Now there are affixes added to it. So UN is an affix added before cook, and ed is an affix added after cook. So we have a new word, uncooked. Alright, see, so un, the affix which is added before the word cook, we call it as the prefix, and the ed or the affix which is added after cook, we call it as the suffix. Okay, and then you can see a new word is formed, uncooked. That is a new word altogether which has got a very different meaning from cook. So children, this is the meaning of affixes. Now let us take a look at what are prefixes and what are suffixes. But before that, what does the word root word mean? We looked at a word called as a root word. So what is a root word? A root word is a word that makes sense all by itself. Okay, so you need not add anything to it or take away something from it to make sense. So a root word makes sense all by itself. It is sometimes also called as the base word, and you can find these base words in the dictionary. Okay, so that is the meaning of root word. So come on, let's move on and let us try and understand the meaning of suffixes or affixes, that is the prefix and the suffix. So affixes are of two types. Which are they? So we have the suffixes or we have the prefixes. Now let us see what suffix is. So suffix is added to the end of the word to make a new word, whereas prefix is added at the beginning of a word to make a new word. So you know, the word means before. Okay, so prefix means before, and suffix means after. Anyways, we are not going to look at prefixes now. We are going to look only at suffixes, but anyway, affixes are of two types. Which are they? Suffixes and prefixes. So let us concentrate on learning suffixes today. Prefix will come up very soon in your scholarship syllabus. We will look at it then. Okay, so come on, let's move on and let's see what a suffix means. So a suffix is a letter, or it could be a group of letters which is attached to the end of a word to form a new word or to alter the grammatical function of the original word. Now, what is the meaning of altering the grammatical function of the original word? What is that? What does that mean? Now see, every word, it acts like a noun, or it acts like an adjective, it acts like a verb, so it has got its function in the language. Now sometimes a suffix can change the function of a word, so it can change the word category of a word. Okay, so that means from noun it can make the word an adjective, from nouns it can make the word, convert the word into a verb, it can convert the word into a adverb. Okay, so suffixes can sometimes change, also interchange the parts of speeches. Alright, so this is one more thing about suffix. And also children, remember, it is a letter or a group of letters which is attached towards the end of a word. So this is the most important thing, remembering that suffix is a letter or group of letters attached towards the end of a word. For example, see here, the verb read, R-E-A-D, read is a verb. It can be made into a noun, reader, by adding the suffix er. So to a verb, when you added the suffix er, the verb became a noun. So see how the function changed. Alright, the noun is what? Name of a person, name of a place, name of a thing, etc. And what is a verb? The verb shows action. So see how the function changed. Alright, so that is the beauty of suffix. So sometimes we can also say that suffix helps in word building also. Alright, so this was about suffix. Let us move on and let us look at some examples at how it changes, okay, the parts of speech. So see, we have suffix IC. Can you see the suffix IC? See how it changes words. So it changes into an adjective. So an angel, when you add IC to angel, angel becomes angelic. Okay, and angelic is an adjective. Alright, angel is a noun. Let us look at some more examples. So see, IVE. When you add IVE, again an adjective is created from a noun. So mass becomes massive. Alright, see some more examples. LY. So sometimes it forms an adverb also. ADV means adverb. So see, quick is an adjective. When you added ly to it, it became quickly, which is an adverb. Okay, and so on and so forth. See, ATE. ATE, when you add to a noun vaccine, we get vaccinate, which is a verb. So see, it changes a noun into a verb also. It changes an adjective into an adverb. It changes a noun into an adjective. Let us look at what more examples are there for us. See, when you add ness, it changes happy, happy is an adjective, into a noun, that is happiness. So it can also change an adjective into a noun. Not only a noun into an adjective, but also an adjective into a noun. Let us see some more examples. See, when you add ITY, it again changes an adjective into a noun. So active, which is an adjective, becomes activity, which is a noun. And finally, we have ship. When you add SHIP, ship, see, it changes to companionship. Alright, champion changes to championship, sorry. Okay,
So this is how the words or the functions of words can change. Now, if you refer to your scholarship book, children, they have given us how suffixes can change words by showing how adjectives are formed, how nouns are formed, and how verbs are formed. So let us follow our book and let us try and see these separately also. So let us first talk about formation of adjectives. So I'm going to show you some examples, and there are some examples which are there in the book also for you. Okay, so you can read them, you can pause the video at your leisure, and you can repeat reading this again. Okay, so you will understand better. Come on, let's go to how adjectives can be formed from other words by adding suffixes. So see, I have this table for you. So here we have the suffixes, we have the words, and we have the adjectives which are formed from these words. So let's take the first example. So if I add the suffix able, okay, the word depend becomes dependable. The word accept becomes acceptable. Now see, I will show you just two examples of each. Now there are a number of examples and words you can find in the dictionary. Okay, so you can refer to that also. There is a limitation on how many examples we can do here together. So you always have the dictionary with you, so you can pick up the dictionary and you can try and add the suffixes to see what words are made. Let us take a few more examples. So example 2, what if we add the suffix full, F-U-L, full, to the word hope? So what is the adjective which will be formed? It will be hopeful. Okay, then if you add it to the word faith, you have faithful. Alright, so see, the adjectives which are formed are dependable, acceptable, hopeful, faithful. Then let's come to the next example where you have OUS. So if you add OUS to danger, what do you get? Yes, dangerous. Okay, and then if you add it to fame, then you get famous. Alright, next example, LESS. So LESS is a suffix which if you add to harm can become harmless. Now if you add FUL to harm, it will become harmful. Okay, that is also there. And then if you add LESS to care, you get careless. Okay, come on, let's move on to one more example. So you have ISH, ish. So if you add ish to child, what do you get? Childish. If you add ish to girl, you get girlish. Okay, next, Y, just the letter Y. So if you add Y to sleep, what do you get? You get sleepy. If you add Y to the word dust, you get dusty. Okay, let's take one final example over here with ARY. So if you add ARY to imagine, you get the word imaginary. Okay, and if you add ARY to custom, you get customary. So now again I want you to take a look at certain words which could change. Okay, for example, see, let us look at fame and famous. So in fame you have FAME, but when you're writing famous, what have you done? You have dropped the E and you have added the OUS. Okay, come down and look at the word we did just now. We did imagine and imaginary. So when you make it imaginary, what do? You drop the E and you attach the ARY. For the remaining words, if you see, children, more or less you're just attaching the suffixes. So this is how adjectives are formed from verbs and from nouns. Let us go to the next kind of word building or word formation, where we will form nouns. So let us see how formation of nouns happen. So again we have the same table, but now instead of suffixes, words and adjectives, we have suffixes, words and nouns. Okay, so come on, let's start. So ness, N-E-S-S, ness. When you add ness to the word ugly, it becomes ugliness. I want you to again look at the difference in spelling. When there is a Y, that time also you drop the Y and you add a N-E-S-S. You add an I and an N-E-S-S. Remember, the ones with E we saw in the previous exercise. So you say ugly and ugliness. Then you say bitter and bitterness. Okay, there are no spelling changes. Let's take another example with M-E-N-T, ment. So judge becomes judgment. Alright, and govern becomes government. Then we have D-O-M, dumb. So king becomes kingdom and wise becomes wisdom. Again you will see the E has been dropped and directly the D-O-M has been added. So we do not say wise dumb, we say wisdom. Next, S-I-O-N. So oppress becomes oppression and invade becomes invasion. So I want you to notice the pattern here. Whenever there is a Y at the end, you drop the Y, add an I, and whenever there is an E at the end, sometimes you drop the E and then take on the affix, okay, or the suffix. Now coming to the next one, CY. So infant becomes infancy and frequent becomes frequency. So see, here the T also has been dropped and the CY has been taken. The suffix CY has been taken. Then we go on to the next example where we say ANCE, the suffix ANCE. So attend becomes attendance and elegant becomes elegance. Okay, then finally let's take one more example where we say AL. So propose becomes proposal, remove becomes removal. So here there are many more examples also, children, which you can see. For example, you can see ENCE, where independent becomes independence, patient becomes patience, etc. Alright, so here also notice certain patterns. For that you will have to pause this video and read it again. Then we come to the third kind of word building exercise where we change we take up the formation of verbs. So let's see the suffixes, the words and the verbs. So we have EN. When you add the suffix EN, the word strength becomes strengthen. The word wide becomes widen. When you take the suffix ate, the word regular becomes regulate, and the word different becomes differentiate. Okay, so that is a little difficult and little tricky. Then if you talk about IFY, the suffix IFY, beauty becomes beautify. So see, again we have dropped the Y, taken the I. Simple becomes simplify. Okay, we have dropped the E and taken the I. Then the I, is already there, so we've just dropped the E. Then come to the last example here. So it is ISE or IZE. Both of them are right. So when you say critic, critic is a noun. When you add ISE or IZE to it, it becomes criticize, which is a verb. Fertile becomes fertilize. FERTILISE or ZE. Okay, so strengthen, widen, regulate, differentiate, beautify, simplify, all these are verbs. So children, these are some of the, you can say, functions of suffix. This is what suffix does to words. Suffix does some more interesting things, that is, it also goes on to make plurals in words. So suffixes are added to make plurals also. For example, see, cat becomes cats, dog becomes dogs, cloud becomes clouds, and we have the word kid, which becomes kids. So what is the suffix that has been added, or the suffix which has been added? It is the suffix s. So sometimes when you add the suffix s to a word or to a common noun, you can say, it transforms into its plural form. Let us see what else happens. So you will see that sometimes the suffix es is also added in order to make plural. So bus becomes buses, beach becomes beaches, box becomes boxes, and so the suffix es is added in order to make the plural form. Church becomes churches, bush becomes bushes, witch becomes wishes, etc. Sometimes the suffix which is added to make a plural could also be ies. Let us look at the examples. So you have baby, B-A-B-Y, baby, becoming B-A-B-I-E-S, babies. L-A-D-Y, lady, or P-A-R-T-Y, party, becoming P-A-R-T-I-E-S, parties. Then you have L-A-D-Y, lady, becoming L-A-D-I-E-S, ladies. Okay, the fruit strawberry, it becomes strawberries. So I-E-S is also the suffix which can be added in order to make plural. Plus we also have the suffix VES sometimes added to make plural. So let's take a look at the examples. So you have half, which becomes halves. You have wife, which becomes wives. You have life, which becomes lives. You have knife, you have leaf, and so many other examples also. Alright, so this was in detail about suffix, what is the meaning of a suffix, and what all work the suffix does in vocabulary. Now children, we all know that we are doing a lesson in scholarship. So whenever we do a lesson in scholarship, the main intention of our lesson is try to solve questions. And then we try to solve questions according to the pattern of the questions in the scholarship examination paper. So let's take a look at the question patterns which can come based on suffixes. So you can have pattern 1 where they will ask you to pick out the correct suffix for the following word. You could have pattern 2 where they will ask you to pick out the suffix for the given word to make a sensible sentence. And in the third example, they will ask you to choose or pick out the correct word formed by adding a suffix to the word. For example, OUS will be a suffix. You add it to a word. So what is the word which is formed? Okay. So these are the 3 question patterns. So what we'll do now is we'll try and solve a few examples from each of these patterns. So if you have understood the concept of suffix well, children, you will definitely be able to solve all these questions correctly. Now, before we move on to the questions, let me also tell you that towards the end of the lesson, that is after you finish watching the video, your job is not over. There are some certain tasks which I have set for you. So what those tasks are, I will be telling you towards the end of the video. Okay, so come on, let's get into our question answer pattern now. Let me also tell you that whenever you see a question, pause the video and try to find out the answer yourself, and then come back and check your answer with mine. Okay, this is an instruction I keep on repeating every time we do a scholarship lesson. So come on, let's see pattern 1. So what the question will be? Pick out the correct suffix for the given word. So suppose this is the word companion. So what could be the correct suffix for companion? So let's take a look at the choices that we have. So is it IVE? So is it companion V? Is it companion full? Is it companionship? Or is it companionary? Oh God, that's a difficult word. Let's decide which it could be. So it is not IVE, it is not FUL, it is definitely not ARY, so it is SHIP. So what will be the correct word? It will be companionship. Okay. Example 2. So we have the word adult, and these are all the suffixes that you could attach to adult, but then we do not want to attach any suffix. Okay, we want to have a right word. So let's see which it could be. So could it be IVE? Could it be ENCE? Could it be SHIP? Or could it be HOOD? Which is it? Yes, it is HOOD. And then you have the new word adulthood. Okay, next example number 3. So you have the word style. So see what suffixes you can add to it. So will you add OUS? Will you add ISH? Will you add LY? Or will you add ANCE? Read the question properly and try to find out which the answer could be. So will it be 1 OUS? Will it be 2 ISH? So will it be stylus? Will it be stylish? Styly or stylins? It will definitely be stylish. Okay, so the answer is stylish. The answer is answer number 2, and the word which will be formed is stylish. Come to the next one, question number 4. So you have the word ridicule. Okay, so look at these suffixes which you could attach, the possible options. Is it ISH, OUS, IVE or ARY? Yes, it is OUS. The answer is answer number 2, and the answer which you will arrive at is ridiculous. Alright, coming to the last example in this pattern. Pick out the correct suffix for the following word. You have the word fear. So let us look at the possible answers. So is it fearless, fearable, fearsy, fearness? Yes, what could be the right answer? It is answer number 1, fearless. Alright, in your exam paper, you're not expected to write fearless in the answer paper, okay? This is just an example. We are doing a kind of revision, or we are doing practice. That is why I'm giving you the right answers in this manner. So children, this was the first question pattern for you. Let us move on and do pattern 2. So what is the question here? Pick out the suffix for the given word to make a sensible sentence. So the sentence at the end of the exercise should make sense. Let's see what the sentence is. So Reena was dash of passing the test. So the base word or the root word here is hope. So let us see what the answer could be. So could it be Reena was hopeless of passing the test? Reena was hoped of passing the test? Reena was hopeful of passing the test? Or Reena was hopeness of passing the test. So which do you think is the right answer? Yes, it is answer number 3. So you have the meaningful sentence. Reena was hopeful of passing the test. Alright, coming to question number 7. We had to take care for the land was dash. The base word is marsh. Look at the options. So we had to take care for the land was marshly, for the land was marshy, for the land was marshed, or the land was marshery. What will be the right answer? Yes, it is answer number 2, where you add the word Y. You add the letter, Y to marsh to make it marshy. So we had to take care for the land was marshy. Moving on, question number 8. Pick out the suffix for the given word to make a sensible sentence. This is the only dash to the rule. The word is except. So will it be this is the only exception to the rule? This is the only EXCEPTSION exception, expected to the rule, or expecting to the rule? So it will be the first one, exception with a TION. Exception. Okay? So this is the only exception to the rule. Coming to the second last question in this pattern. The house we saw was very dash air. So what is the adjective which should fit in here for the house? So will this air become airish? Will it become airy? Will it become airing? Or will it become airy? Yes, it will become airy. It will take a Y and will become airy. Coming to the last question in this pattern, children. Her dash in the language was surprising. The word is fluent. So what in her language was surprising? Was it fluency? Was it fluenting? Was it fluentel? Or was it fluentness? It is fluency. So you have dropped the T there. Okay? So her fluency in the language was surprising. So this was the last example that we did for pattern 2. Let us now move on to pattern 3, the last kind of pattern or the last type of pattern which could be asked. What is the question? Choose the correct word formed by adding the given suffix to the given word. So they have already added the suffix to a word and they've given you the final word. You're supposed to say which one is the correct one. Okay? So see, this is the word. They've already added all these suffixes to it. So they've made SPACE space into SPACEOUS spacious, SPACCIOUS spacious, SPACIOUS spacious, or SPACOUS spacus. So which is the right word, children? Which is the right answer? Now for these kind of exercises, no, you have seen certain words. Okay, most of us, we have seen so many words in English. So sometimes by looking at a word only, you know that this is right and this is not right. So here the answer is SPACIOUS spacious. Alright, moving on to question number 12. So let's take a look at the word here. It is elegant. So these are your options. So will it become ELIGENCE elegance, ELEGANTS elegance? Will it be ELEGANCE elegance or elegance? ELEGANCE. Check out which could be the answer. Answer is answer number 4, ELEGANCE. elegance. Okay, coming to example number 13, infant. So how will this word change and what will be the right answer? So will it be infancy, infancy with a T and a C, infancy with a INFANTCY, or infancy with a E here? So it will be option number 1, infancy, INFANCY. Let's go to the second last question, that is question number 14 or example number 14, ugly. So we have already seen this example and I'm sure you will know the answer quickly. So come on, look at the words and tell me which is the right one. Yes, it is answer number 2, UGLINESS. So you replaced the Y with the I and took on the ness suffix. So children, we are at the end of our lesson. So we have come to the last example and the word is custom. Now we have seen this also. This example also we have seen before. So come on, let's see which is the right one. So is it customary or customary, customary or customary? Come on, look at the spelling and think which one looks correct. Yes, it is the third one, customary. So children, today we looked at the third subtopic in your unit vocabulary, and the name of the topic was suffixes. We saw what the meaning of suffixes was, and we also did a number of word building exercises where we saw how it can transform words into adjectives. We saw how it could transform, adding a suffix could transform words into nouns, and how adding suffixes could transform words into verbs. We also looked at the various types of questions which could be asked, and we did a few examples on each type of question. So that was all, children, in this particular video.
So children, now you have watched the video. So after you watch the video now, you will have to complete a few simple tasks. Now you might have watched the video on your computers or your laptops or your mobile phones. Now after you watch the video, what will you do? You will please go to the description box which is given below the video. So what is the description box? See, the description box looks like this. Alright, and after you go to the description box, you will see that there are a few questions there. Now what are these questions about? These questions are about the lesson that we just learned or the video that you just watched. So what will you do? You will think back properly about the lesson and you will try and answer these questions and note down the answers in your notebook if you want. Okay? After that, we have another task waiting. You will also click on the link which you will find in the description box to fill up the Google form. So now what is the Google form, children? It is nothing but a simple form. There are a few simple questions there about the video which you just saw and also about yourself. So these are the tasks now that you will have to complete after you watch each video. So children, wasn't that a very interesting lesson? I'm sure you learned a lot of new things in this lesson. If you have liked this video, please hit the like button and also subscribe to my video so that you will get to see all the videos which I keep posting regularly.